This project grew from the need to reconnect with our surroundings, nature, with local materials, animal and plant fibers, with tools, making and time, with old and new knowledge. Here you can follow a documentation of making, a reflection of a place, Anneberg. Upon arrival, stinging nettles captured my curiosity. What once was a viable fiber, forgotten. I felt the need to explore and investigate materials around me. An intention was set to experience and fully understand making a piece of clothing from beginning to end, taking my time, foraging local materials, processing them by hand, learning each element in its entirety, immersing myself in a ritual of repetition and reflection. Every morning I went to a nearby forest. I took with me a pair of scissors, gloves, and string. Once I found nettles, I cut them near the root, removed the stings and leaves with my gloves, and tied the stems together to take them home. After a week of drying, the nettles were ready. With a knife, I cut them open, often finding eggs and larvae inside. Carefully, I separated the fiber from the woody core. Then, with the help of a butter knife, I processed the fiber from raw to fine and span it from thin to thick. Mohair from neighbors' goats made its own way to me. I spent the weekend sorting the wool, picking the dirt out, carding, spinning, and washing it. Blended, these two fibers turned into yarn and cloth, and slowly shaped into a piece of clothing. An investigation through local archives was made to inform the design. Importance was given to timeless garments, clothes from the past that are still modern today and will live through the future. Workwear garments worn by men were noticed and served as inspiration. After pattern cutting and twirling, I started to weave. Wool yarns on the warp and 2-ply nettle wool yarn on the weft. Twill weave on 4 shafts. I wove squares and sewn them together. And finally, a vest that acts as an artifact, a documentation of this locality. Its texture tells its story. Harvest, shear, fiber processing, spinning, weaving, butter cutting, sewing, wash, wear. 2 months it took. 600 nettles were harvested. Wool from 1 sheep, Ella, was used. Here, A worn sample. Since the nettle fibers were little processed, the garment will develop itself with time, wear, wash, and care. The textile will become softer and the colors will fade.